So 50 new updates from Airbnb for this summer. Ugh, that's so many. And which ones are really going to drive your bookings and keep your calendar full? Will any of them actually result in you being able to charge a higher nightly rate? And how complicated is it going to be to actually use this stuff? So a very warm welcome back to my channel. I know that I've been MIA for the past little while, and I haven't been leaving you without any up-to-date information about running your Airbnb business. And I'm really sorry about that. My team and I, well, we've just been flat out running workshops, performance accelerators, and working with hosts in our growth groups. Basically, we've been training and coaching Airbnb hosts just like you on a deeper and more personal level so that they can earn more from their Airbnb, grow their businesses, and work less. But I've scaled up my team and set delivering more YouTube videos as a top priority. So you're going to be seeing more of me on a consistent basis. Or if you want to work together more closely, then join one of my programs. Along with this recommitment to YouTube, we are also launching a Facebook group to support the channel and our members. This group isn't about bitching about Airbnb or how terrible our last guests. No, in fact, we don't allow that. This group is about growing your business, answering your most pressing questions, and supporting each other along the way. Plus, you're going to get to meet and network with some of the most amazing hosts from around the world. So meet me over there by heading to facebook.com/groups/Airbnb Uncovered. And if you're new to my channel, then welcome. On this channel, I uncover all of the insider host strategies so that you can earn more, have a fully booked calendar, and grow your Airbnb business to mind-blowing levels. There's no fluff here, just real advice that actually works from me, a 48-time superhost who's hosted over 3,500 guests and earned millions on Airbnb. I've coached and trained over 600 hosts to earn more from their businesses, so be sure to hit the subscribe button so that you can become a more profitable host too. All right, let's get into today's topic, the 50 new updates in the summer 2023 release. So we've seen in the past that in these types of releases, Airbnb can go wild with new features. Some of them are completely useless, while others are complete game changers. And still more, some are never heard of again. But let's face it, we are all in the Airbnb business for the same reason. We want to make money from our properties. So let me break down the most important new features for you. I've picked 6 of the most important improvements, and we are going to count down from the least most important new feature to the most important new feature. Coming in at number 6 is built-in checkout instructions. Now, I wasn't super surprised about this one, given that there was a ton of backlash on social media last summer about how some hosts were overloading their checkout instructions, basically making them a turnover to-do list, so a list you would give to your cleaner. Airbnb wants checkout tasks to be simple and reasonable. They've added some tasks for you to pick from, like gathering the used towels, throwing garbage away, turning things off, locking up, and returning the keys to the lockbox. To be honest, this is roughly what we teach in our programs, although we have some pro user wrinkles to make your life as a host even easier without overly taxing your guests. Your checkout instructions will be visible before a guest books. Now, whether or not your potential guest will read them is another question. They'll automatically be sent by 5 p.m. the day before checkout, which is reasonable, not quite how I teach it, but it should work well for the average host. Please just be careful when setting your checkout instructions. Don't make them too onerous, because guests are actually going to be able to rate your listing with excessive checkout tasks. And if you get that rating too often, Airbnb could end up removing some of your checkout tasks. Number 5 is comparable listings. Soon, you'll be able to see what listings around you are charging. And this could be amazingly useful. So often I see hosts dropping their prices when bookings slow down, which isn't always the best course of action. Sometimes actually raising your price is the answer. Now, I want you to be careful with this one though. Getting accurate comparables is very tricky. And at this point, it doesn't look like you're going to get much control over which listings Airbnb will consider comparables. But they do say that it will be based on size, location, features, amenities, reviews, and the other listings that guests browse while considering yours. Now, the last one, other listings guests browse while considering yours, that could be massive, but only if the data is from guests who actually make a booking and not just browsing around. I've found though that manually selecting your comparables is a much better way to benchmark your price. And I teach exactly how to do that without spending hours finding your comparables in my pricing workshops. Fourth on the list is kid and infant friendly homes. Now this one I think is going to be very important. Being able to target specific guests on Airbnb is paramount. While we don't have a ton of details on this one yet, it seems like icons will be added to listings highlighting things like playrooms and cribs. Appealing to traveling families is good business and well worth the effort. I'll keep an eye on this one and let you know when more details become available. Next up is number 3, improved monthly search. Although we don't know much about this one either just yet, it could also be huge. Many of us turn to monthly stays over the slow season or when we run out of eligible nights under local bylaw or ordinance restrictions. It's also very appealing to digital nomads, still one of the fastest growing categories of guests on Airbnb. Digital nomads are guests who can work from home, and they've decided that they're going to work from your home while exploring and traveling the world. These guests are superb because they care about the reviews, since they're basically going to be living in Airbnbs for an extended period of time, and they want future hosts to accept their bookings, so they're going to make sure that they get great reviews. Doing monthly rentals can be good business and an excellent way to increase your annual profits, so be sure not to ignore this one. Coming in at number 2, redesigned pricing tools for hosts. Pricing on Airbnb has historically been a bit of a crapshoot on the host side, to say the least. With discounts compounding, taxes being added in, and other factors, it's been almost impossible to see what guests pay. In the past, I've turned to previewing my listing, entering the dates in question, and seeing what pops up. Of course, this isn't possible when I'm dealing with a request to book since the dates are blocked off. So look, I welcome anything that makes seeing what guests pay easier. Now, some of you might be wondering why it's so important to see what guests are paying. And that's not so you can do a better job at setting your price. No, it's for figuring out a special offer and pricing your place reasonably when taking a reservation on your direct bookings website. And we're finally here, the number 1 improvement in the summer 2023 Airbnb release. Improved co-host functions. By far, co-hosting is the fastest path to increasing profits, working less, and increasing your cash flow immediately. The students that I've worked with who have grown the fastest have all done it with co-hosting as part of their strategy. From what has been released so far, it looks like we're going back to the way co-hosting was 5 years ago. Back then, Airbnb would pay us directly instead of having to get our co-host fee or revenue share from our co-host. And this is going to be the case again. Co-host fees can either be a fixed fee or a percentage. Sadly, it doesn't look like both are available. They've also added 3 different access levels for co-hosts: full access, calendar and inbox, and calendar only. And this is a great addition because until now, the only way to have varied access levels it was to use Airbnb teams. And if you had an Airbnb team, then you couldn't have co-host. It was either one or the other. So now you can have an official co-host and add cleaners and managers to those listings too. Of course, there was 44 other enhancements, but these 6 are the ones that I think are going to have the biggest impact on your business. If you're a rooms host, of which I am not, I would definitely recommend that you go and check out the updates for rooms hosts. There are some big changes that are seriously going to impact your business. Well, that's it out of me. If you haven't requested to join our Facebook group, please do it now by heading over to facebook.com/groups/Airbnb Uncovered, all one word. If you're a regular viewer of mine, then you know what I'm going to say next, and that is to ask you for a thumbs up if you learned from this video and to subscribe to my channel if you're not already. If you want to binge on more of my videos on how to make more money on Airbnb, then check out the rest of the videos on my channel. So until next time, bye for now.